On this episode of Smart Robots Review, we continue building our very own Arduino-based smart robotic car. And if you've never done this before, that's perfect because this series is designed for you. I will take you through every step. In parts 1 and 2, we assembled the car. On this episode, we're going to go through what code is, how to download it to the robot car, and how to make the car move. This is going to be fun. Stay with me.
Welcome to Smart Robots Review.
Everyone, welcome back to Smart Robots Review, the show that reviews robotics and other fantastic tech from around the world. I'm your host Elias, and it's great to have you here as always. Today, we are going back to the Smart Robot Kit. Why buy a remote control car out there when you can make one yourself? Especially one that will have all these cool gadgets like ultrasonic sensor and Bluetooth connectivity, and a line tracking module, an infrared capability, 4 motors, 1 for each tire. Look at these fat tires. Okay, so you get my point. This is a great little smart robot car, and the reason why I say it's a robot car is because you can program it to do some things on its own. In the first few episodes, we assembled the kit. This is the kit by Elegoo. And today we're going to make this move. We're going to download some code, and we're going to learn how to download code onto the microcontroller here. Then we'll see what happens. All right, one more word before we get started with the show. I want to thank everybody who is sponsoring me by checking out the Amazon links below. If you notice in the description of every one of my videos, I have a link usually leading to Amazon. Because I'm an Amazon affiliate, I get a small commission if you or anybody else using those links decides to make a small purchase. Even a toothbrush usually ends up in a few cents going to my account as an Amazon affiliate. And those funds help me make more videos like this because sometimes a vendor will send me a product and sometimes I have to go out there and try and get it myself. And as you can guess, robots can be pretty expensive. So with that, thank you so much for sponsoring me, and let's continue on with the show. Okay, to get started, let's visit the Elegoo website. That's ELEGOO.com. Once you're there, you need to go and find the download link on the right. Click that, and from here we're going to download the Elegoo software, and I will talk about that in just a minute. But first, let's pick the platform that you have. They have Windows, Mac OS, and Linux supported. So click that and download it. Now that you have the Arduino executable downloaded, you want to go ahead and install it. And don't worry, this is all very easy, very simple. Just follow what the screen tells you. These are called prompts. So once you get a prompt like this one, for example, go ahead and follow it as instructed. The only exception for these prompts is if it prompts you to read a license agreement, for example. You should definitely read that before you clicked agreed. After they install, go ahead and start the Arduino Integrated Development Environment, and that's what this is. This is called an IDE, Integrated Development Environment. And if that concept is new to you, that's perfectly okay. This is basically like a text editor that allows you to write code and also will allow you to upload this code to the device you're trying to program. And if you're new to this, do not worry. We're not going to be writing any code today. We're going to be using instead sample code already provided. All that is included in the CD that came with the kit. Elegoo, the parent company, has provided sample programs that we're going to upload to the car and make it move as our first example. Quickly, we need to make sure some configuration items are checked off first. For example, go under Tools, Board, and make sure that the Arduino/Genio Uno is selected, as you see here. Now your computer has to communicate with the smart car, and it does that through what we call COM ports. Here you have several COM ports, so make sure you go to port COM and then pick COM3 or COM1, whichever one shows in your computer, Arduino/Genio Uno. Also, you should know that sometimes you might be prompted to update your libraries. Alright, for now, let's not worry what that means, but basically you should understand that that is an easy way for you to update these libraries automatically by clicking a single link. So why don't we go ahead and click Libraries. That's going to start the process for you to automatically update the environment. And while it's doing that, let's talk about the libraries. So libraries is basically a collection of code already pre-written that you can use in your programs. Now we're going to use that later in a future episode, but for now just know that you should have your libraries updated to avoid any issues with your code. And guess what? We're ready to load some code and make the car move. So go to File, Open, make sure the provided CD is in your CD drive or DVD drive, browse to it, and go down to English, and pick Lesson 1, and under there you're going to see multiple folders. You should be following also the PDF here that contains the instructions, and for the purpose of our example here, we're going to go into Auto Go, and this right here is code. We're going to double click it or click Open while it's highlighted, and while that's loading, let's talk about the terminology real quick. This code is called a sketch. In the world of Arduino, all these programs are going to be called sketches. So when you hear the word sketch, we're talking about a piece of code. So here it is. Here's the first look of our code. And don't worry, there's a lot of stuff here, but we're going to be going through all these details, what all this means in future episodes. But for right now, let's build that confidence that we know how to identify what a program looks like, and we can load it into this editor, this IDE, and then upload it to the smart robot car and see what happens. Alright, before we get started with downloading code onto the Arduino microcontroller, we have to take a couple of steps. First, I already have the Bluetooth module connected here. See this, let me remove it. There we go. This is the Bluetooth module. So this will allow us to make this smart robot car, give it Bluetooth connectivity, so we can connect to it via our phone and drive it around and control it. So that's what this is going to be for. But in order to download code, you have to make sure this is disconnected first. So you have to put that aside, and then you will need the included USB cable that came with the Arduino kit. You're going to plug it in on the side here like so, and then the rest goes into the PC. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Make sure the Bluetooth module is not connected to the board, as we talked about earlier. Make sure the smart robot car is connected to your computer using the included USB cable, and then click on this button here that says Upload. Now that's going to do two things. It's going to verify and check that the code is correct, and then it's also going to translate it into code, into language that the smart robot car, the microcontroller, can understand as instructions. Notice what it says there on the bottom left, compiling sketch. Compiling is the process of translating this text that we can read and understand to instructions that the computer can understand, the microcontroller can understand. So here we go. It says done uploading. If an error was detected by the compiler instead, then that message would be replaced with an error message, error found, for example, instead of done uploading. So this is a good sign. So let's find out now what effect the instructions, this program, this sketch that we uploaded to the microcontroller is going to have to the car. So I flipped the switch, and now you see the robotic car. It is repeating a pattern, moving forward, backwards, left, right, forward, backwards, left, right. So it is fair to say that the code contains instructions that tell the car to perform these exact movements, move these wheels in that pattern, left and right, forwards and backwards. So if we want to understand how that was done, we can study the code further. Okay, on this example, I loaded the next sample program, which instructs the robotic car to move forwards and backwards, just like that. So it's repeating that pattern, forwards and backwards. Next, I loaded the sketch that instructs the car to move to the right and then move backwards. It's making a right turn and then a reverse right turn. We're going to watch that here. I flip the switch. There we go. And it's going to repeat that pattern just like with our last example. So on today's show, we learned what code looks like and how to download it into the Arduino controller. These programs are called sketches. The environment is called IDE, Integrated Development Environment. And we got to see the Elegoo smart robot car move based on our instructions, because a machine will only do what you ask it to. So, pretty cool, right? Yeah, I think that wraps it up for today. On the next episode, we're going to connect the Bluetooth module and download the code necessary to make this work with your phone or your iPad or any smartphone, really. So don't miss that episode. That's coming up very soon. And with that, please let me know what you thought of today's show. Leave your comments, your feedback below. Check out the Amazon links below if you're interested in the Elegoo smart robot car. And with all that, thank you for watching Smart Robots Review.